Been a long time.
It's been a long, long time. I feel like I was breaking into a Led Zeppelin song there for a second. Anyhow, what were you talking about before you hit
We're
record?
talking about the styles of talents that, that even though we all have a connect, because we all have a soul, right? So we're all
Right.
connected to the grander everything, but all that doesn't all break down into the same talent.
Yeah, there's been a trend, and I've seen in the past years actually, microwave mediumship. So you have people that they start out their mediumship and they get excited, and I understand that excitement, and they want to rev it up, and they put their shingle up, and then what happens is it fizzles out really really fast. Not everyone is meant to be a medium. They may be in the spiritual or I would say metaphysical community where they are more natural in some other type of modality, such as psychic work or healing. And I'm not saying people can't touch that line of spirit of communication, but sometimes it will just go just so far.
But
So the story I was telling you earlier was, Michael Jordan, who is one of the greatest basketball players of all time, right? That's his thing is basketball. He decided that he was going to play baseball and he sucked at it, So it doesn't mean, that, he has no talent or no athletic ability or anything. Obviously he does, but his main focus was and should have been just basketball because that's what he was good at. Baseball, he was not good at,
right.
So we have to know, our limitations in the certain arenas as far as, the metaphysical community or, the spiritual community, such as mediumship and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, Rushing to do things and teaching when you only have a few years is kind of like, I don't know about you, but I think you waited as well. I mean, I waited,
Well,
I think beginners like within 5 years, and then I kind of catapulted to more stuff, after I got over that 5, 6, 7 year mark.
yeah, yeah. So I think sometimes we awake. I'll use the word awaken because can't think of another one right now. But you awaken, you have that like aha moment, you have some kind of experience, some kind of awareness, and then you want to know more and more and more, right? And the more and more and more training is a lot of it, people end up in circles, and that is a form of connection and a form of mediumship that you can practice with and get really comfortable with the energy and to understand yourself. And but you're right, not everybody is a platform medium, not everybody is a one-on-one medium or a group medium, not everybody is a mediumship teacher. Now I
Right.
have I have actual teacher training. So my inclination is I jumped in maybe a little bit too fast at first, backed off, worked on it some more, and
Right.
then came back because that realization that it's not just the practice of how do I get a whatever evidence, right? It's also the practice of who am I in that energy and who am I really and where's all my stuff at? I mean, all of that. And I don't know that we recognize how much of our own cleanup and growing up in our awakening moment is all tied to that. And we just want to and here's the other thing, even though you have an amazing experience for yourself with your own people, does not mean that we are that conduit for somebody else that isn't our people.
Yes, I totally, totally agree. Because I have a lot of people that may come to me and said, well, geez, I communicated with my grandmother, my grandfather, or my father, brother, sister, et cetera, et cetera. Am I a medium?
Well,
Well, are you
and then
able to
we have
connect
to
to other
do,
people or
what's
bring
your
it to me?
definition of a medium, right?
Right.
So what, Kim, what's your definition of a medium?
What is my definition of a medium? My definition of a medium. Oh boy, it's a pretty loaded question. It's somebody that is a conduit for healing. That is my definition of a medium. Is a my is whether or not that is healing itself, whether that is um in bereavement, helping, aiding in bereavement by giving the evidence of who the communicator is to the recipient. But along with that, also, I believe a medium is somebody that needs to and recognizes of their own shortcomings, and I don't, this is not going to make any sense, their own shortcomings, and willing to kind of stretch themselves and hit on their self-development as well, so they can be a betterment for humanity as well. And it may not be something that's going to be overnight, it's not like you can't do the medium. When I say the mediumship work, I mean the readings, if that's what you choose to do, but it just means that you've recognized it and you're on your way to healing as well. But it's also recognizing other people that need healings, whether it's a psychic work, whether it's healing modalities in itself, whether it's directing them into grief groups, or
using that intuitive nature just to
right.
Simon James and Brian Robinson call that the everyday medium, where you recognize your own space, and like you said, you work on your own self-development, your own awakening, your own healing, your own movement towards that full recognition, right? And in that, you can recognize that connection and that beautiful that everybody has, and then you can recognize that in a fashion that helps somebody else. And sometimes that is not evidence of a communicator, that is a slice of the talents,
right.
That's the slice of the talents. So I don't
I'm sorry, go on.
Go.
And part of that as well is, like I said, is contributing to humanity, but it might be something as simple as you're in the grocery store, because I work in a cash office, so everything happens in a grocery store. but you're in the grocery store and you're in the line, and you just feel a need to tell the person in front of you that, geez, you know what? Your hair really looks great today. Or, you have the most beautiful skin. Oh my God, I just love your pocketbook. Or you have a very exquisite smile. And that may, to the ordinary person, seem like, oh, that's nice that you did that. But you don't know if that person needed to hear that day. And how many times does somebody say to you when you do give a compliment or comment to somebody, oh my God, I really needed to hear that today. That is spirit working through you. So you are the medium at that particular time, even though you're not bringing through a loved one, but you're bringing in, inspiration. It's about bringing in an inspiration. That's what mediumship really is about, whether or not it's in a grocery store line saying great pocketbook, or bringing in Uncle Harry who used to go fishing along the, canal in Somerset County, New Jersey, bringing that evidence in. So
being in that, if spirit is that flow of love and you learn how to be in that flow, then you're going to be able to spread that, that is, I know you and I rely on this for our grocery bill, but in the grand scheme of things, sometimes it's those moments in that recognition, of connectivity, that it's going to help somebody out more than saying, oh, and your grandma says hi.
Right. Yeah. And I think we have to get honest with ourselves, like really honest with ourselves when we start to do mediumship. Anytime that we're doing mediumship, it doesn't matter if we have 1 month experience, 2 years experience, 20 years experience. Why are we doing mediumship? Why are we doing this? Are we doing it out of our ego, or are we doing it, which it would be the right reason, and everybody, to heal people, to help people? That's what everybody says. But if you get really honest with yourselves, because I know in the beginning when I started doing mediumship, it was not to better humanity. It was not to, aid in bereavement. It was not a healing modality. It's because I could do it. So, you know, you need to get honest with yourself and then go, okay, well, this is only gonna be a temporary fix to my ego. And then it's gonna be something else. So why am I actually, why am I doing this? And how can I change the pattern of this and make it something more than just about my ego? There's too many egos. It's become an industry and not a vocation.
Yeah.
And
the
it's a vocation. And
vocation,
so,
yeah, moving from your soul, right?
right.
It's like if you don't do it, you feel like there's something missing, because that is your nature, your calling, your
Exactly.
love pool. That's how you're expressing your own talents. It's through the grander spirit, and if is that pool really, really there? Is that pool there?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I know, and that's very important to say that too, Jen. That was a very important statement, because every time I try to quit mediumship, something would happen where somebody would book a reading, or I would get pulled to it for whatever. But it's a pull. It's definitely a pull. Because how many times I went, nope, 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 nope. And it's like, yeah, 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 yeah. All right. And there I am, here I am doing something. But people need to slow the blank down, slow down, slow down, take your time. It's going to take years to develop, and you don't just, what is what you're going to pass along to other people. And we have a responsibility for people that are a little bit more seasoned in mediumship, right, to pass on the best mediumship we possibly can. Now, my classes always change, meaning like my lessons that I give to people always change, because I evolve as a medium. So what I started out 5 years ago, 8 years ago, is a lot different.
Yeah.
Now, because I have evolved as a medium,
I
so
totally
that's
concur with that, because there was a set of videos I did just 6 months ago, and somebody asked me why they weren't available anymore. I'm like, because in that time I realized something else that would negate something I said in there. So
yeah,
I've learned more, which is why I do it like you do, like once a year or twice a year. And that stuff doesn't stay stagnant, because you're right. The more we work on ourselves, which needs to be constant, the more
right.
we know that we can share with somebody else. So what we taught, like in the case for me 6 months ago, it just doesn't hold water anymore for me. And if it doesn't hold water for me, why am I going to keep it up there to teach somebody else?
Exactly. So, we're just passing off what we know. You can only give what you have, and that's it. You only can give what you have, but people just need to kind of take their own inventory, especially, that's a big AA saying, or a doing, I should say. It's one of the 12 steps in AA. It's about taking your own personal moral inventory, but that is something, you don't have to be an alcoholic to do that. You can adopt those steps in your life, and it for whatever reason. But the one that I really like the best is taking a moral inventory of yourself, your reasons why you're doing certain things. And there are times where in my mediumship, I have to take that inventory of myself and go, why am I doing this? And am I really helping people right now? Do I need to take a break because I have other things going on, whatever is going on at that particular time, whether it's moving or my health or whatnot. So, I'm not putting, okay. No, I'm not going to put that up. Okay. So we'll talk about it after.
Okay.
But I do have something coming up. I won't say what it is. I have something coming up in a couple weeks. So I'm not going to be taking any readings or anything those next 2 weeks after that, because I need to kind of recoup from certain things.
Yep. And that's a good thing to know about ourselves, right? And that's honoring we have to honor our humanity as much as we're honoring our spirit and our soul pool. We have to honor both, and that's all part of it.
Okay.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Jen.